I mean, the whole thing of what's happening and what they told us that, oh, it's just going to take 15 days for the curb and everything, and all of a sudden 100 something days into it, and we're still in the whole. I think it's ridiculous. And when do we go back to normal life and just going back to what we're used to, right? Are we supposed to be just complying to this nonsense? I don't agree with any of it.
British Columbia has been slapped hard with COVID-19 restrictions in the past few days, from $2,000 fines for things like not having sanitizer while hosting a gathering to mandatory masks when traveling via transit or by BC Ferry. The question is, are Canadians happy to comply to these restrictions? Drea Humphrey here with Rebel News, and on Monday I took part in a monumental moment in history, taking a BC ferry ride from Victoria to Tsawwassen while masked without a choice. Yay me! Since this past Monday, August 24th, everyone riding on a BC bus, ferry, SkyTrain, or West Coast Express train must mask up. In a Global News report, it appears that TransLink spokesperson Ben Murphy saw it fit to practice his rhyming skills while stating that in regards to riding with them, it's no longer an ask, you must wear a mask. New translink.ca does say there are a few exemptions to the mandates, which include people who have certain medical and physical disabilities, also employees who are working behind a barrier, some police, and also children under the age of 5. On the 2-hour ferry ride I traveled on, there are signs in the stairwells that discourage people from leaving their vehicles at all, with the exception of using the washroom. Yet for those who don't want to be stuck in their vehicle or stuck in a mask, there's one place you can go upstairs to be maskless, and that is the cafeteria. The cafeteria is still pumping out the orders, and one can sit, drink, eat, and be merry without their mask on, providing they stay within the bright red lines that mark off sections on each table area. So how was the first of BC's new mandatory mask mandates for TransLink and Ferry? How did that first day go? Well, I presume that most complied, but according to Facebook posts, at least one small group of protesters from a group called Hugs Over Masks set out to defend their belief that one should be able to choose to mask up or not to. One of the protesters, Marcella Desjardins, described the ride as a great time, saying people were very receptive and even the SkyTrain security were respectful of them. As for the ferry ride that I took, I chatted with a couple of people who rode the ferry when I did. Here is what they had to say. Here is the first day on the ferry. So Julia, what's your opinions on that?
Well, I think masks is something that if people feel it's safer for them and they want to wear them, they should go ahead and do that. But somebody who's actually looked into it understands masks actually don't protect you from COVID. And it's more of something that's pushed on us, I think, via fear and to try and push a lot of other things. I think it's just nonsense. So I'd prefer to not put this on my face, because I feel it's a muzzle basically over my face, and I don't think I should have to comply with something that doesn't make any sense.
Isn't it a bit ironic that we are asked, the vast majority of us in the public, to not wear the ones that are actually approved for helping with the virus? We're told to wear anything but and wrap that around our faces.
I actually had no idea that we were told that we were not allowed to wear those, because that doesn't make any sense.
It's not that we're not allowed. The mandate is for non-medical face coverings.
Oh, well, I don't see any point in that. If you're actually trying to protect yourself, supposedly, then why won't you wear something that's supposed to be actually protecting you if you actually want to protect yourself? So what's the point of this little piece of paper or material that doesn't do anything?
And what about Dr. Theresa Tam, who recently said that these measures, even if we have the vaccine, these measures we put into place might be here for the next 2 to 3 years. Did you know that?
I didn't hear of that, but I'm not surprised. I mean, the whole thing of what's happening and what they told us that, oh, it's just going to take 15 days for the curb and everything, and all of a sudden 100 something days into it, and we're still in the whole. I think it's ridiculous. And when do we go back to normal life and just going back to what we're used to, right? Are we supposed to be just complying to this nonsense? I don't agree with any of it.
Well, there you have it, the first day of mandated face masks on BC public transit and ferry rides. When will these mandates end? I don't think anybody really knows, but I bet we can take an educated guess based on trends in Canada right now, and that is we're likely to see more stricter COVID-19 restrictions in the next little while before we see less of them. Drea Humphrey with Rebel News. Not sure if you qualify for a mask exemption for public spaces, or even just curious about what your rights are regarding mask mandates. If so, you can head to maskexemption.ca. There you can print off your wallet-sized mask exemption card, and you can also help donate to cover the costs of the legal expenses that went into making them. We appreciate your support.